Hey guys, today I want to show you how to do user session analysis in Orange Slice. So I have a list of users that I've imported, some that signed up last week, and I want to discover a little bit about them. When they signed up, did they create a spreadsheet? That's in our platform, you create a spreadsheet when you sign up. When they signed up, what's the first prompt they sent in the chat? Basically, I'm trying to understand for each user, did they activate? If not, I can look at their post-talk session, figure out why, and then maybe I can email them to get them activated to see what might have gone wrong. So the first step I'm going to do is I have the list of people, I have their account IDs, and I have their emails, and I have Supabase MCP connected right here. So I can query my Supabase for each user to figure out what happened during their session. And then I can also use post-talk, which we're also going to do. So the first step is I want to know for each user that signed up, did they make a spreadsheet in Orange Slice? So let's go ahead and ask the chat, can we create a column to find out if the user created a spreadsheet and spreadsheets table? Use the base MCP return true. Now you can see Orange Slice has created the column, and if we click on it, you can see it's created spreadsheet, and we can see it checks the account ID if it has an existing active spreadsheet in the database, and it uses the Supabase execute SQL tool. And you can see that right here as well. And now you can see it's ran on the first 5 rows, and 3 of the users have created a spreadsheet, so it looks like we have some work to do on the activation side. I'm going to go in here and run the entire column. Awesome. Now you can see the entire column has ran, and it looks like we do have some work to do on the activation side. Not all of our users are creating spreadsheets, but this is good to know. The next thing I want to know is what was their first prompt that they sent to the Orange Slice chat? That's something that can help us understand what our users are actually doing. So I'm going to say create another column to check what the first message they sent was engage the chat messages table, if any. Awesome. Let's go ahead and send that. Cool. Now you can see the Orange Slice chat has created the first message column, and you can see it finds the first message given the account ID, and it uses data from that account ID. And you can see it ran the first few. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and pause the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and run the rest here. Cool. Now you can see we have some insight into what these users sent our chat, and we can kind of take a look at these and say, okay, were we able to satisfy that query? I might make a column to see if we actually did a good job creating that query by having an agent analyze the response. But let's add one more column to find their post-talk session of their first interaction with us. Use post-talk to create a column that finds a link that returns a link to their first post-talk session recording. Cool, now you can see we've created the first session recording post-talk column, and you can see it runs 2 queries, person list and query run. We can see those right here, and it ran the first 5, and here we have the session recording, so I can easily cross-reference the post-talk recording. Now from here I'm probably going to run the entire column, but more importantly, I think maybe for you guys it might make sense to add a column to actually do some real analysis on the user session. What messages did the user send? How did the chat reply? And we can put like a sentiment score or like a score of how well we thought we did, and then maybe I can spend my time focusing on the ones where we might not have done as well. And then also I can go ahead and add a column to send an email to these guys, and then I can click on these and I can send an email right from Orange Slice right here to perhaps the users that didn't have such a good experience on our product. And for context, what we do at Orange Slice is we have a webhook coming in from our Supabase. It's constantly adding rows to a table like this. So we're doing like user analysis, we're getting notified when there's a bad session, things like that. So I hope that was helpful. This was kind of a fun way to use Orange Slice in a pretty much non-typical way, but you can connect any MCP or API to Orange Slice, and you can do any sort of analysis in a spreadsheet format. So thanks for watching.